Hello, STAR students, and welcome again in Grammar Unit 12. Today's grammar is very easy. You're gonna like it so much. So, it's about comparative and superlative. What is the meaning of comparative and what is the meaning of superlative? So, here from the photos, that when I say heavy, this is adjective. I describe this bag is heavy. But when I compare between this bag and this bag, so I can say this bag is this bag is heavier than the previous bag. So here I compare between two things. But here, when I say, so this is comparative. When I compare between two things, I use comparative, which is ER, as you see from here. Superlative, when I say this bag is the heaviest. So this bag is the heaviest, it means that it's very heavy. Okay, and it's no comparison between these two bags. No, this is the heaviest one. Okay, let's see. Let's go on comparison. First of all, we are gonna describe comparison. So as I told you, for comparison, I use ER to the adjective. So we use ER for the short adjectives. What is the meaning of short adjectives? Like one syllable. For example, when I say this bag is small. So small, this is very short adjective. Okay? It's one syllable. What is the meaning of one syllable? It means I cannot cut this word. I cannot say small or no, small. Okay? So if I want to compare between two things, I can say I am smaller than my sister. So here I add to the adjective ER. Why I add ER? Because I want to compare between two things. Okay? So for comparison, I use ER plus than. For comparison, I use ER then than. So another example, when I say this bag is cheap. So if I say this bag is cheaper than my bag. So when I compare between two things, simply I add ER to the adjective plus the word than. Okay? Okay. But what if we have the adjective ends with Y and Y is preceded by consonant, not vowel? At that time, I cross Y and add I plus ER, which is comparative. Okay? So once I find adjective ends with Y and this Y preceded by consonant like K, at that time, if I want to compare, I delete Y and add I plus ER for the comparison. So here it's like happy. When I find this is adjective ends with Y, so I substitute Y with Y. I substitute Y with I plus I add ER of comparative. Okay, so if we go back here to heavy, so here it's wrong. Why? Because I should raise Y and put IER. So here I should delete Y. And here at the same time, I should delete Y and put IEST. Okay, let's move to for longer words or longer adjectives. What is the meaning of longer adjectives? It means that these adjectives have two syllables or more. What is the meaning of two syllables? It means I can cut the word. So I can say handsome. X. So here we have two syllables. I can say expensive. So I have here three syllables. So when I find long adjective, I cannot add ER once I want to make comparative. No. Just I add before the adjective the word more. And after the adjective the word than. Okay? So here, again, once I find the adjective which is long, it's impossible to add ER. I cannot say handsomer, no, too long. Just I add before the adjective the word more, and after the adjective than. So or this man is more handsome than Ali, for example. Okay? And we have a few adjectives or adverbs that they are irregular. For good, I cannot say you are gooder than me. No, you are better than me. So here we have irregular comparative form. First of all, good for comparative better. So you are better than me when I compare between your level and my level. Bad. Here I cannot say you are better. No, you are worse than me. For far, I cannot say farther. No, it's further or farther. Okay? For little, it's less than this sugar is less than my sugar. So for little, I cannot say littler. No, I use less for comparative. Let's move to superlative adjectives. What is the meaning of superlative? Superlative, once once I say this blue whale is the biggest animal in the world. So here I describe this blue whale. This is the biggest animal. No one or nothing or no animal can be comparable by this blue whale. When I say Ahmed is the best student, so no one is better than him. No, he is the best. He is unique. He is the top. Okay? Okay. So for short, superlative, when I say the blue whale is the biggest, as you see from here in superlative, I put the the article the before the adjective, and just I add to the adjective est. So let's describe here comparative and superlative. So here, once I say comparative, okay, I'm gonna write on the board. So for comparative, I add to the adjective, for example, like big. I add to the adjective er, bigger. And here I duplicate G. I put double G because G is preceded by vowel. So when I find the consonant preceded by vowel, I duplicate the consonant. So here I add double G. So big, bigger. And after ER, I put than. So for example, I can say Ahmed is, okay, not Ahmed. We can say this car is bigger than mine. So here, for comparison, I add er to the adjective plus than, plus the word than. But let's move to superlative. Superlative. For superlative, I can say big. For superlative, I add before big the. And to big, I add est. So for superlative, I add before the adjective the, then the adjective, then I add to the adjective est. And again here I duplicate G because big ends with consonant preceded by vowel. So I duplicate the consonant and I put double G. Okay? So let's recap quickly for comparative of small. When I say you are for comparative, smaller plus than, smaller than me. But for superlative, I can say you are the smallest. So I put the before the adjective and put to the adjective est. So again, for comparison, I put er, then the word than. For superlative, I put before the adjective the and to the adjective est. So give me another example for example, um, the word for the adjective, for example, long or even short. Make it in comparative. So I say, you are comparative shorter than me. Shorter, er plus than. For superlative, you are the, I put the plus est, shortest. You are the shortest. Is it easy? Okay. So here let's move to the PowerPoint. So I told you for superlative I put the to before the adjective plus est. Okay. So here, as I told you, we duplicate. For the biggest, we duplicate G because this is consonant preceded by vowel. So I duplicate the consonant and put double G. Okay? And again, when I say this is easy, easy ends with Y. Okay? So again, let's move to the PowerPoint. When I say this this exam is easy. Okay? So easy, this is Y preceded by consonant. So I delete Y and add I. For comparison, I add ER. This exam is easier than the previous exam. But for superlative, I can say this exam is the, put the article the before the adjective and the easiest. I plus est. est for superlative and the article than. But for comparison, I put er plus than. Okay? Is it easy? Okay, I hope so. What about two or more syllables? If I have long adjective, so it's impossible, no way to add est. I cannot say you are the beautifulest. No, it's too long. So simply in the long adjective, I put the word the most before the adjective. So I can say this building is the most beautiful. Okay? This uh, for example, trip is the most dangerous. Why? Because this is too long adjective. It has more than one syllable. Dangerous. So I cannot say dangerous. I cannot add est to long adjective. No. Just I put the word or I put the most before adjective and then I put the adjective. So let's recap what we said right now. Let's recap quickly. Here, so for big, in the comparative, I say bigger than. In superlative, I say the biggest. Easy, comparison, easier. I put er plus than. For superlative, the easiest. Expensive, this is long adjective. So in comparison, I cannot add er. No, I say more expensive plus than. Okay, and for superlative I cannot say I cannot add est because it's too long. Expensive, it's too long adjective, so just I add the most expensive. Okay, heavy, it ends with y preceded by consonant, so heavier than, I change y to I. And the heaviest in superlative. Again, popular, it's too long, so for comparative, this movie is more popular than my movie, for example. Or the most, this movie is the most popular. This is for superlative. Again, happy, it's a short, happier than or the happiest. And take care for I change Y to I. Important, it's too long, so I can say more important than. Okay, for comparative. Superlative, the most important. So I can say this point is more important than the last point. Or this point is the most important. Okay? And again, favorite, more favorite than, or the most favorite, difficult, more difficult than, and the most difficult. Why? I add more or the most, more in comparative and the most in superlative because it's too long adjective. Is it easy? Okay, great. Okay, so let's move to irregular adjectives. As I told you, for good comparative, I say better and you are better than, and for superlative I say the best. Bad, worse than for comparative, and superlative the worst. Much for comparative, more than, and for superlative the most. Many in comparative, more than, and superlative the most. So here I add after more the word than. I add before most the article the. Okay? Little, so you are or this for example less. Okay, like this sugar is less than mine. So comparative I add less than. For superlative the least. Okay, this is the least I can do. Okay, let's move to as plus adjective plus as, or as plus not plus adjective plus as. So here I use as plus adjective plus as when I say that we are the same. You are as tall as Ali. So the height of you and Ali the same. So you are as tall as Ali. Okay, so here I use as plus adjective plus as when I describe two things or two persons and they are similar, they are the same. Okay, if they are not the same I just add the word not. Ali is not taller than Ahmed, so they are not the same. Okay, let's move to here as plus adjective plus as, or not as or so. By the way, I can say so plus adjective plus as, or as. So I can say as adjective as, or so adjective as. Okay, the blue ball is as big as the red ball. So they are the same in size. But here, are they same in size? No. So I can say the green ball is not as big as the blue ball. Okay? As I told you, I can say as or so. So this green ball is not as big as the blue ball. So once they are the same, as adjective as. Once they are not the same, as or so is preceded by not. So not as adjective as, not as adjective as, if they are not the same. Is it easy? Okay, so now let's move to close up and answer the questions. So open close up, page 155. Look at these sentences and answer the questions below. Granddad's mustache is the longest I have ever seen. Paul's feet are bigger than his father's feet. My classmate James complains the most in our class. Stephen wakes up earlier than the rest of his family. Which sentence contains the comparative form? Comparative form, as I told you, ER. Comparative form, ER. I will write it here even. ER plus than. So which one is comparative? ER plus than, bigger than, and earlier than. So it's number, okay, so it's number B and D. Which sentences contain the superlative? I told you superlative form is, remind me, the plus est to the adjective. Adjective plus est. So here, when I say granddad's mustache is the longest, and here my classmate James, the most. So here, why here I said the most and I didn't add est because this is irregular adjective. Yes, great. So it's number A and C. Okay, look at these sentences and answer the questions below. My brother is not as tall as Dad. Lucy can run as fast as Beth. In sentence A, who is the tallest? Sentence A. My brother is not as tall as Dad. So who is taller? My dad. Yes, great. So my brother is not as tall as Dad. They are not the same. So it means that my dad is taller than my brother. But when I say Lucy can run as fast as Beth, they are the same. So in sentence B, can Beth run faster than Lucy? No, they are the same. Complete the rules. We use what adjective or adverb plus what to show two people or things are similar. Yes, great. As plus adjective plus as when they are similar. So as when they are similar, is and similar, as adjective or adverb plus as when they are similar. If they are not the similar, simply I put not as plus adjective plus as. Okay, let's move to exercise D. Complete the second sentences so that they have similar meaning to the first sentences. Use the words in bold. Mom and Dad go to bed at midnight. I go to bed at 10 o'clock. So use the word late. Here, when I say my mom and dad go to bed at midnight, midnight means what? 12 a.m. 12 a.m. But when I go to my bed at 10 o'clock, which means 10 p.m. So here I don't go to bed and use late. Yes, great. I don't go to my to bed as late as mom and dad. And here I used as plus adjective plus as because here it's what? I cannot add later than or the latest. No, late. So once I don't add anything to the adjective, it means I use as plus adjective plus as. Okay, number two. Kate's hair reaches her waist. My hair is shoulder length. Shoulder length. So my hair is what then? My hair in my shoulder, but her hair in her waist. So my hair is shorter. Yes, great. Shorter than Kate's hair. I try hard to do well at school. My best friend doesn't try hard enough. Use harder. So yes, I try harder. Here I add er plus than because this is comparative. I compare myself to my best friend. So I try harder than my best friend to do well at school. Number four, both Melinda and I run for 2 kilometers every morning. So we are the same, right? So Melinda runs as far as. Yes, amazing. Perfect, students. Okay, 5. I haven't seen a better documentary than the one about the human body. Use the. So the documentary about the human body was here it's better, right? But when I make comparative for good, comparative better, for superlative the best, yes, great. So here was the best. And here I use superlative because there is the word the. He told me to use the. 6. Kelly takes less time to solve math problem than the rest of the class. So use quickly. Kelly solves math problems. Here I say quicklier. No, it's one more syllable. Quickly. So it's long adverb. So more quickly than. Okay, more quickly than. Here I use the in comparative more plus adjective plus than because it's long. It's not one syllable. It's two syllables. 7. I can see better than my grandma. So my grandma can see, and here he told you to use as. So as well as. Yes, perfect. 8. Mom says that nobody sings as beautifully as I do. So mom says that I sing most. Before most, I add the most. Yes, perfect. So here my mom says that I sing the most, and here I said beautifully because it's long. The most beautifully of all. And here this is adverb. Okay? As I told you, we use for long adjective or adverb for superlative the word the most. Next, complete the text with these words. Our skeleton. The human skeleton is amazing. Some of its many functions include enabling us to move, supporting and protecting our internal organs, and producing blood cells. Not surprisingly, the bones of children and young teenagers are what then? So here we use comparative. Smaller, yes, great. Smaller than those of adults. However, babies have what bones than adults, so it's the same comparative. So I use perfect. More bones than adults. A baby is born with about 300 bones. As it grows, some bones are joined together. An adult skeleton has 206 bones, and half of them are in the hands and feet. However, the most doesn't have as what bones as. So here it's what as bones as the hand. As select adjective. Many. Yes, great. So here as many bones as the hand. It has one less. Bones have different shapes and functions. Some bones are flat, others are long or short, and others are irregular in shape. The thigh bone is the, so here I add est, the longest. Yes. And I don't choose the smallest because here I'm talking about thigh bone. Thigh bone is the longest. Okay, so why I selected longest, not smallest, because this is the context. Okay, and the strongest bone of the human skeleton, whereas the what bone in our body is found in the ear. Yes, here the smallest. As you see, the smallest bone in our body is found in my ear. So here the smallest because in my ear we have a small bone. Okay, even though bones are strong and tough, they can break. Did you know that the collarbone breaks the most? Yes, great. The most easily likely for us, bones are made of living cells. When a bone breaks, lots of new cells are produced to rebuild it. This is regarding our topic today and our grammar rule about comparison and superlative. I hope that you enjoyed our session today and you understood the difference between superlative and the comparative adjectives. See you later, guys, and goodbye. Thanks for watching.